You know what? I've been looking at my 2025 backlog, and man, I missed a lot of good games. That could have been indie games or AAA games both. It's really, really sad, to be honest with you. But here is just a list of 10 games. 8 of them I also missed, and the last 2 are 2 that I actually have played, and I really recommend because they kind of went under the radar pretty quickly based off other games that came out around the same time. Absalom, I'm pretty sure. A kind of roguelike and beat 'em up mixture with beautiful artwork. The actual design of it's really good and it looks super smooth. I've heard nothing but great things about this game for those who have played it, but it's one that definitely just flew under my radar so fast, along with a lot of other ones, with the exception I think it did kind of get nominated for some indie awards, but you know, that's what happens with indie games. Sometimes they just fall under the radar. South of Midnight. Yes, I technically can't play this game yet because it's not on PS5, but it is coming out in the spring of 2026, so I will have a chance to play it then. Beautiful, wonderful game with just deep southern roots, a story that looks really, really unique, and that's something that we've probably never seen before. I don't think it got enough love when it came out, so I really am excited to see what the combat and the music, from what I've heard in the trailers and gameplay, it sounds wonderful, so I really can't wait to actually give it a play this year. Dispatch. Yeah, I just missed it. I wanted to wait till all the episodes came out, but man, I just missed the boat on that one. Yep, it's a good game. Everyone's saying so. I want to play it. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. This one just kind of flew under the radar super quickly. I did actually a video on the, not tutorial, but the demo, and the demo was fun. I think it was an hour, 2-hour demo or something like that. Nothing too long, but the combat was super inspired by like Skyrim and classic Elder Scrolls, but with a good mix of kind of just additional features that they have. I don't know, it just felt a little different, but it still felt good to that original core of those kind of action, I want to say action RPGs, but medieval RPGs with a really kind of interesting idea of the traditional King Arthur storyline. So I actually want to go and play the entirety of the game, not just the demo this year. Unbeatable. This one here just came to my radar probably really late into the year, and by that point I kind of had all my games mapped out for what I wanted to play, to be honest with you, but a super interesting rhythm adventure game that has a really solid soundtrack that's getting a lot of love, which is really nice, and kind of a cool indie style Persona mixed with like Scott Pilgrim kind of stylized look to it, and I think it's one of those that kind of gets slept on. Kronos: The New Dawn. Survival horror RPG that just looks spooky. Sci-fi horror is always cool. You got Dead Space, you got Callisto Protocol, you have so many good sci-fi games that are just spooky. And this one looks like it delivers just as much, and I kind of want to play it this year. All right, you're gonna probably make fun of me. The Outer Worlds 2. It's a AAA game. It's a really good. The original is really good. I played it. I know this is like a pretty good like sequel, and I just didn't get around to getting it or playing it. It was just not. It was on my radar like at the release, but like the developers did so much more to it that it looked so good in regards to like the not feats, but the penalties they give you, the penalties they give you when you just do certain things over and over again, right? That's such a unique way to have like on a kind of shooter RPG, which is super, super cool. I really am excited to play it, but it just missed me when it came out in 2025. And the last on this list that I personally haven't played yet is the Midnight Walk. This is like a hybrid game that's actually supposed to be a VR game, but it can be played without the VR headset. Very like Tim Burton-y kind of style in terms of the artwork. I believe it uses stop motion like claymation style looks. It just has a unique look for a game specifically. You see this in animation quite a bit, stop motion animation, but you don't see this in games that often. So I'm liking more games that are coming out with this like stylistic views that are just different. To me, same South of Midnight has this kind of very unique look to it, kind of like By Sweet Carol did with the hand-drawn animations that we played. If you haven't actually seen that, I will link to this for a full playthrough of that. But there's more games and indie developers specifically that are starting to make these kind of really good stylized looking games and also play very well too. Alright, so all those games I did not play. But these last two I did, and they were super good. And they just might have missed your radar because other games came out at the same time, or just they didn't get a ton of hype when they came out. The first one, Hell Is Us. Pretty sure it was meant to fail, unfortunately, because it came out at the same time as Silksong, I believe. But Hell Is Us is this kind of like dark, just adventure. I want to call it more of a puzzle adventure action game in that order specifically versus I think what it wants to be called is more like a Souls-like type of thing. It's not. The combat is, I would say, 40% of the gameplay in terms of like how good it is comparatively to the 60%, which would be the adventure, the mystery, the storyline, all up until the third act. I'll be honest, the first two acts are really good. The third act kind of dies off towards the ending, unfortunately, but the gameplay itself, it has no map. It has no really hand-holding of where you're going. You just kind of search around, read everything that's happening, and uncover this like mystery that is occurring in this kind of made-up, war-torn world that's being invaded by things. No spoilers, of course, but the game is very good still. I would recommend, especially if it's on sale, pick it up. It's worth your time. You'll spend, I don't know, 30, 40 hours in it. Nothing too crazy, but it could be longer if you want to go deeper into all the things you can find. And there are multiple, I believe there are multiple endings too, maybe based off what you find in the world. And then last but not least, Adamfall, which if you've watched my channel, there is a full playlist, I'll put it somewhere, the dibbly-doo, of me playing Adamfall, the entire playthrough actually. I think there's one video that is the entire playthrough of my version. There are multiple endings in Adamfall, super cool. A British kind of Fallout style game set in the 1960s with like a post-apocalyptic but not post-apocalyptic style. It's kind of just like interesting, the storyline of it. There's a little bit of a sci-fi mix into it. I don't want to get too into spoiler details there, but the gameplay is fun. You can kind of go out and adventure into these maps, find different things and different people to whether ally yourself with or not, can change the course of the game, along with you can kind of just sprint to the end as fast as possible. I do recommend not doing that because the game gets pretty hard if you try. And you can see where it was inspired by traditional kind of action shooter RPGs like Fallout, like Metro, Stalker, that kind of thing. Lots of just good inspirations built in, and the voice acting is done very well, along with just kind of the story is kind of cool and pretty unique. I do recommend grabbing that one, especially if it comes out on sale. Adamfall, very good. So, what about you guys? Did you miss any games in 2025? Do you have anything in your backlog that you're excited to play that came out last year? Please let me know in the comments. And if you played any of these and recommend which one to play first, please let me know, with the exception of the last two, because I already played them. But yeah, either way, 2026, you know, I already said it was the year of the backlog in this video, so yeah, go play those games. I'm Justin, your Redis Panda. See you in the next one.